And welcome back to the channel, guys. So this week we have a very special car in the shop today. We have the Lamborghini Urus, and you guys know that this is pretty much the supercar of all the SUVs. It is very, very fast, and it has quite a bit of presence, as you guys can see. This customer is actually in the shop because they are doing pure paint protection film, and it's a colored paint protection film. So we're gonna be doing a full color change on this Lamborghini and making sure to take you guys along for the ride and showing you guys what we disassemble and what it takes to get this exactly how you want it to look. One thing the customer did awesome for us, and we really appreciate this kind of stuff, is they actually removed the side moldings, which are body colored, but the customer wanted them painted basically black, so gloss black. So we are going to be applying gloss black PPF over that section, but the remainder of this vehicle, let me show you guys what we're going to be working with. That's right, for this the customer chose pure paint protection film, and the color is called Satin Snow White. So this is a pretty insane color. I think it's going to look amazing with all of that pearl and flake. So let's go ahead and get started and installing this on the vehicle. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this car prepped, washed, and then let's go ahead and remove some areas that we're gonna think it's gonna be getting in the way. And I'll show you guys just how easy it is to remove some of the trim pieces on this Lamborghini Urus. All right, guys, one piece that is gonna have to be removed are these flares. As you guys can see, these are actually only held down by pop clips. So let me just show you guys how quickly they pop off. So you'll find a couple of pop clips, work your hands all the way around. Comes off like that, guys. Same thing also applies for the back as well, so just keep an eye on that. But yeah, I'm gonna move through the car pretty quickly so we can get done with this job. All right, guys, welcome back. It is the next day, and this front bumper absolutely destroyed us. It is very, very difficult to do. As you guys can see, it's pretty intricate in the front. So yeah, we're actually moving on to a couple of other sections. You can see that Sienna is getting the door all prepped, and we have the handles removed. So we will be moving on to the doors, but the front end is pretty much done. Let me go ahead and show you guys a quick little update. You guys can see that the front end is pretty much all done, including the fenders. We had a lot of parts removals to get everything tucked in. This is a Colored PPF job, guys, so you just want to be extra careful. You guys can see that we have it on a battery tender. This vehicle actually comes with one from the factory. Yeah, but let me show you guys the intricate work in the front. But yeah, we're actually working on the doors, have the handles removed. The door's gonna be open for quite some time, so we have a battery tender on this, so you don't ruin a very, very expensive battery in service. So I think it's like $1,000 to replace the battery and get it all coated and the aero lights all removed. So unfortunately, we are very, very pressed for time. We have another M2 competition that just arrived today that also is going in for PPF. So there is a lot of things that we need to wrap up on this vehicle. So let's go ahead and run through this installation, make sure that Sienna gets the help that she needs. But yeah, we'll see you guys after a few more panels are done. All right, guys, it is many, many, many days later. We are still on this Urus, and I'm gonna actually do a public service announcement for those guys that are interested in pure protection film. It does not stick worth absolutely garbage, and there's one feature I just can't seem to understand. It's PPF, but it shrinks back on certain edges like vinyl. So it's really, really strange. So we've been just having a lot of issues with this film, getting the Satin Snow White pure protection film on this Lamborghini Urus. So Sienna, I mean, you've been working on this car for several days now. What is your feedback on this pure protection film from an installer's point of view?
Pure PPF?
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing that I like is really reduced glue line.
So very little glue lines from the install.
And then that's it. Anything else, then it's really thick. I mean, like you could treat to cut it. So, like, not even finish this car, I already been using like 40 spare blades. 40.
Wow, and these are carbon blades, right? 30 degree? Yeah, so I mean, it is just absolutely chewing through blades, guys. Even our plotter, we've had to, you know, increase the force throughout the plotting of this car because the film surface actually just completely annihilates your blades. So if you're asking, would we do this type of install with pure protection film? Again, absolutely not. It is a complete waste of our time. We're gonna stick with our true and tested brands such as Ultrafit, Steck, and other brands that we know 100% it's gonna provide that long-lasting result. One thing I did wanna mention is that it felt very similar to NanoLink, except that it chews through your blades a lot more. So one thing, it's very easy in terms of install and not getting glue lines. However, keeping long-lasting, durable edges, especially for Colored PPF where you're extending out all the edges everywhere like this, it just requires a ton of work and it just doesn't stick. I mean, PPF on top of PPF, of course, you're gonna wanna use adhesive promoter and things like that. But even though we did that, it doesn't wanna stick. So yeah, just wanted to make that announcement for those guys that are looking at this film to install. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this vehicle. There are all these edges to kind of clean up and make sure they're staying down. And we're gonna have to give this car back to the customer today because it's Labor Day, guys, tomorrow, and we don't wanna be working as well. So yeah, we're trying to get this done as quickly as possible. And in that time frame, we've also had a RS3 that came back for a follow-up service, as well as a BMW M2 competition, the F87 model. We had a G87 model the week before, so it's been crazy, guys. We've been absolutely slammed with cars. Next week, we have a Porsche GT4 RS in the shop, so another car that's coming in for PPF. So guys, I really wanted to thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm sorry that we're not giving you guys a full install video and stuff like that because we just did not have time to film. It's just me and my wife, so unfortunately with kids and all that, it's really makes it difficult. So with that, guys, we're gonna leave Sienna to wrap up these edges and also kind of check over some work. But thank you guys again for tuning in. This was Eddie with Wrap Stars, Sienna with Wrap Stars, and this was a Lamborghini Urus done in Satin Snow White with paint protection film. And welcome back, guys. So we are all wrapped up with this Lamborghini Urus Colored PPF job. This was quite a nightmare. Like I said in the earlier part of the video, pure protection film. We're not liking how it treats the edges and corners, and especially when you're dealing with very aggressive corners and edges like this one. So yeah, it took us a little bit longer than we had anticipated, but that's sometimes how it goes, guys. Let me show you guys around the vehicle. You can see that all the flares, the vents, everything came off, the door handles, everything came off. And we actually colored PPF the door handles as well. Here's a closer look at it, guys. So when you grab it, it's not gonna be pulling or anything like that. So that's the kind of level of craftsmanship that you guys want. Same thing with the mirror, guys. You guys want someone that's gonna be able to handle this kind of mirror with this curve and make sure you're gonna get full coverage all the way down to the bottom like that. So yeah, this was, again, just making sure that all of these are gonna lay down perfectly. That's what's, you know, the name of the game when it comes to colored paint protection film. So this is actually a previous I think a little bit before the refresh and stuff like that on the Urus. On the new Urus, I believe the rocker panels are all piano black and a lot of the customers end up leaving that black. This customer has a little bit of an older model, so you guys can see we did all of the rockers as well. We have the little trim piece off currently right there because unfortunately, we don't have the time to be removing all this adhesive and stuff like that. And you have to remove that before you put on a new adhesive, the 3M VHP, which unfortunately I just ran out. So unfortunately I can't do it, but this customer could probably handle that on their own. So you guys can see Sienna here, she's just making the final bit of touch-ups and checkups just to make sure that this is gonna be a long-lasting job. And we're gonna be happy to see this go off. You guys could also notice that the deck lid spoiler, which is on the rear section right there, is actually off. And same thing, we just wanted to have the customer be able to apply that later on. We just ran out of VHP tape. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This was another video by Wrap Stars.